first start off in graffiti,
Yep.
say you're like a newbie,
Yep.
you do in your sketchbook, but do you practice
On the
like,
wall?
Yeah, like
Yeah,
do
you
you
go
have
out.
a certain place where no one's
No, they might. You go out with you go out with somebody else. You wouldn't go by yourself. You just for a lot of reasons. But if you don't know how to do it, you don't know the tactics. You would never want to go out by yourself. But you usually go out with somebody that's more experienced, and they might let you do some fill-in stuff or practice your tags or do a throw-up or two, just to get used to using the spray can.
So you can tell if the art's gone wrong and that someone, if they can get back to you to, what would it do? I'm curious, I'm really.
Would you find out from them that your work was
If
bad?
they knew you though, that one that did the work on the wall, that it didn't do it right, or?
Usually, yeah, you're in the neighborhood. If you're in the hood
Oh, yeah.
with a group of people, you know, you're gonna get found out, or they know your name or they know your tag, and they're like, "Damn, man, that was weak, dude. You know, what are you doing? Get back to work. You got no style. You need to work on your style." There's a great video, a documentary, if you want to watch it, sometimes called Style Wars, that came out in 1982, which put a lot of people on the map. And that was, you know, the ultimate way of fame was the fact that these people got into a movie. You know, they're like, "Damn, we got in a movie, dude. Ultimate fame. That's ultimate recognition." But there's a guy in there named Case who pretty much invented New York City wild style in the early 70s, late mid 70s, I guess. And he there's a scene with him, and he's got one arm. He was in prison, probably for stealing or doing drugs or something, but he came back from being in prison and started doing graffiti. And he got burnt when he was a kid, burned his arm off from high tension wire or something. And he's still doing graffiti, man. He was in there drawing in his sketchbook, and he's sitting there working on this, camouflaging his work, making it really indecipherable. He's like, "Man, this is just like a semi thing. This is just a semi thing, man. If I really work on this, you won't even be able to read it, man. This is dope." And then he'd go out and do pieces, and he was like known forever. And he's like historically one of the most important graffiti artists ever. Case. And then another person might use, and the other thing you don't do is you don't take anybody else's name. And once you've got a name, you're called Case or Case One, and you're like the first iteration. Everybody else that comes after you wants to use that name would have to use a different version of it, or put a 2 behind it, or a 3, or if you bite somebody else's name, that's like super bad. That's grounds for getting beat down.
But what if you didn't know? You're from a different
Doesn't
city
matter.
or something.
You better find out. You better know your history. There are consequences. I mean, there is a bit of a fear factor in graffiti, even from your peers. But that makes good energy eventually. And you earn your place. And once you've earned your place, then you get respect too. And you'll
When I was doing the painting, he was like, when are they starting?
So is this place not open on the weekend?
Because I told my mom that everything
Only if you're here?
is part of my culture.
I come in on Saturdays sometimes, and I'll email all the students and say I'll be here Saturdays.
How are they supposed to get any work
Sometimes you
done?
leave without telling him.
And then and then Tina drives from Fayetteville, and I'm not here.
I was like, maybe he's just in there with all the doors closed.
How are they supposed to get any work done?
Let me in tomorrow, just for a little while.
Try.
I just need to get
Try.
because if the boiler's not going to be on,
Try it.
the clay will dry out.
Try it.
By next week.
That was kind of cool. Just keep it right at an angle.
Like, let's say I'm posing one picture.
I mean, that's a whole week of not being able to spray it.
Not like time together, somehow it looks like they're.
No, he's got dark hair. It's short.
That's your fault.
It probably is.
I'm just like, go. Let me go.
What's real skinny?
That's your fault.
I like that. You know, the color scheme, like that brownish.
But he's
Yellow,
skinny.
That's cool.
I was thinking about doing
He looks young.
You know,
What if it's the young guy?
I mean, not young, young.
Now you said you.
your hair so sense of strong. When I came here, my roots started getting black. And I was like, Mom, I was like, what's wrong with my hair?
End of. Well, if you look upside down, there's a cloud cut.